What are you at, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Lycos, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how Starfield could be an absolute masterpiece of a game. Starfield has the potential to be one of the greatest games of all time. And there are three factors that I think could come together to make this a genre-defining game. And it's kind of funny because I've seen that a lot of people think that these three factors is going to be the reasons why Starfield could be a complete failure. Number one, it's made by Bethesda. And a lot of people think that Bethesda makes buggy, broken games. And although that was certainly the case with the release of Fallout 76, and I can certainly admit that a lot of Bethesda's games have been plagued by quite a few bugs, we still need to remember that Bethesda is the company that brought us Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim, all brilliant games in their own right, games that were genre-defining and went on to influence so many other games. We all know that Bethesda has the potential to make an absolute masterpiece of a game. But what about their last game, Fallout 76? This is the second point, and another reason why people think that Starfield is going to fail. Fallout 76 was a broken mess upon release. And I completely agree. I played Fallout 76 on release. It was absolutely terrible. It has come a long ways over the years, but even to this day is still plagued with bugs. But where other people think that this is evidence that Starfield is going to be terrible as well, I personally think that this has given Bethesda even more motivation to make the greatest game that they have ever made. Starfield is a brand new IP, and I think that they want this to be a new legacy series for them. They are putting more effort into Starfield than probably any other game that they've ever created. I think that they know their reputation is on the line with Starfield, and they are dedicated to make the greatest game that they can possibly make. Now, the third factor is probably the most popular reason that I've seen on social media for people thinking Starfield will not live up to expectations. And that is the combination of handcrafted and randomly generated content. I've played No Man's Sky for years. Randomly generated content was at the same time its biggest strength and its biggest weakness. It allowed them to make a massive universe with near infinite worlds to explore, but because of the nature of random generation, the worlds of No Man's Sky in the early days felt shallow and empty. Now, No Man's Sky has come a long ways over the years, and I think that it's an absolute brilliant game in its own right, and I've personally played it for over 1,000 hours. Now, I can definitely see where people's skepticism come from when it comes to randomly generated environments and gameplay, but I strongly think that this kind of content in the right hands could make for a groundbreaking, absolutely brilliant game. If you're as old as I am, and you can think back to the early 2000s or late 90s with games like Morrowind or Zelda Ocarina of Time, or even the early days of World of Warcraft, all of these games had an advantage that today's games do not have. This advantage gave these games a grand sense of adventure and exploration. Nowadays, it is incredibly difficult if you spend any time on YouTube or social media to not have games completely spoiled for you. I think that online guides and reviews are great, but they come with the unfortunate side effect of knowing so much about the game before you even start playing it. It takes away so much of the sense of discovery and adventure that I used to love so much in those older games. But I think that the combination of handcrafted content with the right amount of randomly generated environments and gameplay could go a long ways in bringing back that sense of adventure to modern games. A great example of this is the recently released Remnant 2. The randomly generated content in that adds so much to the game. You never know exactly what to expect, and it adds a ton of replayability. If you haven't checked out Remnant 2 yet, I highly recommend it. I think that if done in the right way, this kind of content could change gaming for the better for years to come. And I am so excited to see Bethesda's handcrafted content combined with their randomly generated worlds. if done right, I think that Starfield can definitely be an absolute masterpiece of a game. But hey, this is just my opinion. Let me know down in the comments if you think I am completely out to lunch, or if maybe I'm onto something here. Let me know if you're excited for Starfield. Thank you all for watching, and as always, stay where you're at, and I'll come where you're to. Later, everyone.
We are not stopping. Whatever lies at the end of this road will change humanity forever. This is where we belong.